Procreate Dreams is finally here, and it's amazing. Procreate Dreams is a follow-up app to the amazing digital art application Procreate, which I use almost daily. I don't specialise in animation, but I have made a few over the years, and I currently make animations for my Twitch live streams, such as this animated emote. I take commissions, by the way. You can find more info in the description. I've always found animation fun, but I haven't really had a way to easily bring some of my more complex ideas to life. Until now! Procreate Dreams launched last Wednesday. It's an animation app from the creators of Procreate, which is my art app of choice. It has Procreate's familiar features wrapped up in a new package catered entirely to 2D animation. I've been using the app since it launched, and since then I've managed to make a short animation in a little over a day. I prepared myself to make this before it launched by creating a multi-layered artwork of a nice forest scene. I did this using Procreate. Thanks to a handy feature of Dreams, you can simply drag and drop artwork from Procreate directly into the new app. My plan was to animate this scene with a parallax zoom effect so that I could follow a bee flying through it. So when Dreams arrived, I dragged and dropped my artwork and got to animate it. I started by using the keyframing system to animate each of the layers of my multi-layered artwork, shifting the position and scale of them for each keyframe. For those of you who don't know what keyframing is, it means that the animation will automatically blend between each position or scale, whatever is represented by that keyframe, so I can have a really smooth animation without having to animate each frame of it. So then I added a Gaussian blur filter to each of the keyframes to give it a shifting camera focus effect, or depth of field. This gives the scene a lot more depth, and I think it's a really nice effect for this animation. To create the bee, I used the new flipbook mode. This is an improved version of Procreate's existing animation assist feature, and it's so much better. To keep things simple, I animated the bee's wings to make them flap, and looped that. Then I could take the entire bee and move that using the keyframing system, which creates a nice blend of frame-by-frame and keyframed movement. I quite enjoy the way this looks. To get a more natural kind of movement, rather than positioning each keyframe manually, this time I decided to use the performance mode feature. This allows you to record things like movement or rotation as the animation plays live. This will place keyframes for you, you don't have to define them yourself. You can even record over existing keyframes, meaning you can combine different elements like the scale or rotation or position, or even effects like Gaussian blur. And with that, my animation was complete. But Dreams doesn't just stop with animation. You can also add video and audio to Dreams as separate tracks. This means you can theoretically create an entire animation or even a YouTube video without having to use any other app. I think that's just fantastic! However, it isn't all plain sailing. As of right now, the app is missing some important features, which could be key to your art workflow. For instance, I can't currently make my animated Twitch emotes using Dreams. It can't currently export as GIFs. When making art, it's missing drawing selection tools, and things like clipping masks and layer masks in the drawing layers. These aren't necessarily essential to making a good animation with Dreams, but it certainly makes it a little bit trickier. Don't despair though, it has been confirmed that all of these features are coming to the app in future updates, which is great news. The biggest gripe I have with the app is actually the interface. As a Procreate user, I found things differ slightly from the original app. The gallery view, which in Dreams is called the theatre view, is accessed via an icon as opposed to text, and the settings menu is accessed via text rather than an icon. Even if you aren't an existing Procreate user, there are some odd choices involved in this. You can't change the name of the animation from the settings menu, despite the name being the text you use to access it. And not all settings are found in this menu. Onion skin and background color settings are accessed via tapping the timecode, which has no relation to them. I personally think an icon on the toolbar for these settings would have been a much better choice. Now, this next one's a bit nitpicky, but I've struggled to get used to it, and I think it's kind of important. You see, to zoom in on the timeline, you can use the normal pinching gesture, where you can zoom in and zoom out. However, on the timeline in Procreate Dreams, you will want to zoom in horizontally and vertically, at different rates, and this simple gesture won't do it. To do this, you must use 3 fingers and drag either horizontally or vertically to adjust the zoom in these directions. I found this quite unintuitive, especially when there are apps like Logic Pro which do this really effectively with one gesture. I wouldn't worry too much about these issues though. Savage Interactive, the developers of Dreams, have a fantastic track record for listening to user input and implementing necessary improvements. Just look at Procreate. It's come so far since I started using it over 7 years ago. I have no doubts that they will do wonders with this new app. All in all, if you're thinking about picking this app up, I absolutely recommend it. Unlike most other professional applications these days, it's not subscription-based, and on top of that, it's really affordable. And the fact I was able to make a short animation within a little over a day should give you a good idea of how easy it is to get started with, despite the things I found slightly unintuitive. I'm extremely excited for the future of Procreate Dreams, and I can't wait to bring life to some more of my artwork. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to my first impressions of Procreate Dreams. I kinda scrambled to put this video together, so I hope it's been a good one for you. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.